starting
Yes.
with from BBC, TikTok is set to release a 60-minute daily screen time limit for any user under the age of 18. Uh, this is coming, what I feel is in advance of some litigation to happen, some laws to start hitting the books on tech companies and their advertiser relationships with children. Uh, because TikTok does serve up ads, and they are using analytics and driving engagement with users. Specifically, one of the biggest used apps around the world right now, between the ages of 14 and 24, is TikTok. And it really doesn't matter what country you live in; that's where you're at. I will say I can confirm this with some of my younger friends. They are absolutely into TikTok. I have an account. I've scrolled a couple of times. I've thus far avoided like devoting huge amounts of my time to it. But I will say, I found myself in the last couple of months watching a lot more YouTube Shorts. In between, checking email and some other things. Like I'll let Shorts run for 15 minutes or so, and I do that a lot. So I definitely get it. Now, there's a lot of criticism specifically over TikTok around its Chinese roots. I can't say that I'm any more upset with TikTok than I am with Google or Microsoft or any of our other, massive tech overlords, Apple, for data mining and data harvesting off of minors for the purpose of advertising. It's no secret that Apple got into classrooms in the late 90s, specifically so they could basically breed a generation of people who only ever used Macintoshes in schools and would grow up to become professionals or college-going folk, and they would go and buy Apple computers because that's what they knew. And those people went on to buy MacBooks in 2006
When they got older. Yeah.
When they got older, and it absolutely did work. I mean, what's one of the number one laptops on college campuses? It's MacBooks. It's Apple. Apple owns like 60% of the market for college campuses. It's insane. And a lot of that stemmed from their investment into classrooms in the mid to late 90s. So there is the battle of getting eyes onto your platform to make it intriguing to continue to be successful. There's also the money to be made now off of advertising. Now, obviously, the internet was brand new in the mid 90s, and so there was no advertising revenue online. That really didn't happen until 2000 and then moving forward. But it's still won mind share, you could say, from that investment. And there have been numerous tech companies that have done similar practices over the years. Google is the most recent one that comes to mind with the state of Oregon has an agreement with Google that Google will provide G Suite or Google Apps or whatever they call it these days for free to all educational institutions in the state of Oregon. Other states still have to pay. It's still a paid for service, but basically every school system in the state of Oregon now uses Google for the base of their infrastructure, which means kids are doing homework in Google Docs. Kids are submitting homework over Gmail and through Google Classroom. And absolutely.
Buy Microsoft Office, basically.
Right. Buy Microsoft Office. I don't need to know how to use Word. All I need to know is how to type a paper and be able to submit it electronically. Welcome to the new age. And, oh, by the way, once you graduate, you can migrate your school account into a standard Google account, changing your email and your address and everything else, and having it follow you for the rest of your life. And how best to win over someone into an environment and an ecosystem than basically forcing them into it in kindergarten. That's the way of the new future. And so this is not a new thing of targeting youth to encourage future profits. What is a new thing is data mining youth and delivering advertisements. So TikTok is definitely under the ire of a lot of different governments around the world, partially because it's a Chinese-based company, but also partially because they are targeting youth for profit.
Well, I think all social media in general is also targeting youth too, especially right now. I mean, YouTube Shorts, like you said, are very interesting, and that's the same thing. Instagram. I mean, these people, these companies, like you were saying, the media, they're not going after the 35-plus-year-olds that are parents. They're going after, you know, their kids or their younger brothers and siblings. They're looking for the middle school, you know, junior hires to high schoolers to freshman college kids.
Yep.
That's who they're looking for. All of them are. And it's not just TikTok, like you said.
Right.
So.
Yeah, TikTok isn't targeting me, but it is targeting people that I watch, people that I enjoy watching. There's gosh, I'm drawing a blank on her name now. The security officer from Strange New Worlds. She's constantly on TikTok and posting things and doing the dance coordination and stuff like that. And it's a fun watch every once in a while, you know. But it's that age of people. Good Lord, I'm older than Star Trek actors now. It's that age of people.
I know.
That are really being drawn into the platform. And according to, gosh, who was this? Imran Ahmed, who's the chief executive of the Center for Countering Digital Hate, which is a UK-based organization. He is basically equating TikTok's algorithm with crack, with little dopamine drips. And it's one of the most addictive algorithms that they've come across as far as keeping people engaged with content. But it's also one of the most harmful, as they found that within a couple of minutes of creating an account and then starting to like or skip or enjoy videos, 13-year-old girls are receiving eating disorder and self-harm content in their feed, because that's what other girls have been watching and upvoting or whatever else. And it automatically just pinpoints you as a person and goes, hey, you, here's content that we found
other
relevant.
13-year-olds. Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing. It's not, it's saying it's building upon your content that you like, but it's also technically building on, okay, you're 13, you're a girl, you're in this area,
on similar demographics to you,
right? You know, and so it's like, okay, well, we're gonna take 2% of what you like and then throw it into 98% of what that other demographic is liking now too, or looking at. So we're gonna feed you a bunch of that stuff,
right? And
so that's what's hard. It's I find myself even now, so I'll use TikTok, but then I find myself more of this like hacks. You know, there's like tool hacks or craftsmanship. I like a lot of that stuff, like the woodworking stuff. Like, oh, that's really cool looking. I'll find myself watching those reels,
right?
And it's like, no matter how many of those I like, then the 10th one is like, yeah, it's some dance video or some stupid you know, Jake Paul wannabe person.
Yeah,
it's like, I never liked any of this,
right?
You know, so I don't know why it's feeding it to me. So they're still pushing it, even though to me, but then it's like, how much are they pushing even harder to kids? And that's the problem. Is little kids are like, oh, that was funny, and they'll like it, and then it's one time, and they just keep liking things and liking things. It's like, honestly, I rarely ever will even hit like on those videos, because like, I don't even want it to know I'm watching it.
I don't want this in my browser history.
I don't want this. Yeah, it's like, scroll by. It's like, all right. VPN into Australia. Okay, I'm gonna use DuckDuckGo. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm good.
John Daylights is a 19-year-old Australian girl. So Moonlights, excuse me. In September 2021.
Well, it's Daylights because it's Australia.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, you're right.
It works.
Yeah.
Works.
That's exactly the joke I was going for. In September 2021, TikTok said it had more than 1 billion active users, active monthly users, making it one of the largest social media sites in the world. It doesn't release demographic breakdowns of its users, but, and this is directly quoting BBC, by the way, but is viewed by social media marketers and advertisers as being one of the key platforms to reach people under the age of 34. 60-minute limits will be an opt-out feature, and so it will be automatically added to your account if you are under the age of 13. It will be an opt-out feature to not have the screen timer on, but anyone under the age of 18 will still receive weekly screen time reports in their email, letting them know how much time they spent on TikTok. I'm not sure if that's going to be CC'd to parental units of any kind, or accessible by parents in any way, shape, or form, but the data is going to start to be there to see actually how much time is spent by 13 to 18-year-olds on TikTok.